Hey, what's up? My name is Aaron Kellim. I'm an artist, a songwriter, and a producer living in Los Angeles, California. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about setting up your home studio monitors. I'll be using these JBL 705P. They're the 7 series master reference monitors. These things are incredible. So I'll be talking a little bit about the specs of these monitors specifically, and then also just an overview of setting up home studio monitors, distance from the wall, distance from you, the producer, listener, all those things that we should be thinking about when setting up our monitors in our home studio. Before I jump in, I just want to say thank you so much to JBL. I'm so grateful that you guys sent these my way. These are just wonderful monitors, so thank you for that. Also, thank you to Performer Magazine. Always grateful to partner with you guys. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about setting up home studio monitors using the JBL 705P master reference monitors. All right, so this is the JBL 705P 5-inch powered speaker. The bulk of this video will be monitor setup, but I do want to show you this speaker. A lot of monitors that you find will have very similar inputs on the back. The only difference might be maybe like 1/4 inch versus XLR input. This one has a couple additional bells and whistles because while they do market heavily for a music studio, these are also great for like movie sound production and things like that. So they offer a few extras on the back of this one. You've got your IEC, your power input here. You've got analog input, which is XLR. You have XLR digital input and digital through. And then you also have the high QNet input here. And also you have a lot of control over different parameters here with this scroll menu. And you can check out all those features. Again, this video, I really want to show you the setup of the monitors in this space. I will say I've been using these monitors for a few months now. And the very first time that I mixed on these monitors, I had the best mix that I've ever had in my life. One of the amazing things about these is their imaging control. A lot of monitors, you have to be in a perfect triangle, and if you move left or right just a little bit, your sound will change drastically. They've patented a sound control where the imaging doesn't really change much throughout your space. So if I'm here, or I move here, or I move here, I'm gonna get the same sound quality, which is really incredible about these speakers, especially for a home studio setup. So let's jump into setting up the speakers in your home studio. When you're picking out your home studio monitors, you're probably going to see two different options. You're going to see studio monitors, and you might come across hi-fi sound systems. The big difference that I find between the two is that with the hi-fi systems, they're really trying to create the best listening experience that makes you really feel what you're listening to. So things like gaming, TV and film, that kind of stuff, they're really aimed towards that experience. A lot of the imaging on the EQ spectrum, they might have boosted in different areas just to make it sound enhanced and really crispy, and a lot of low end, things like that. With studio monitors, they're going to try to get more of a flat response with the EQ line. And so I would highly recommend going for studio monitors over a hi-fi sound system setup. You're just going to have a much better starting point for your mixing and things like that. Once you do get your monitors picked out, one of the first things you're going to think about is where are you going to place the monitors. You kind of have two options. One option would be on the desk that you're using for your setup, and then the other option would be behind the desk on stands. Now, one of the big things to think about, especially if you're putting them on your desk, is you want to have them on some sort of dampening stand. I have these ISO acoustics stands, and they're really great. The problem is if you put the monitor on the desk itself, you get a lot of that rattling, rumbling noise coming off of your desk, and that's going to really interfere with your mixing process. You're going to hear some weird frequencies and things like that. So you want to make sure you have them standing up on something that's really dampening the sound underneath. That way you're getting just the full spectrum right out of the monitor and nothing else. The same goes with the stands that you would use behind the desk. Those should already be coming with that dampening setup on them. Next thing we want to think about is how far away do we have the monitors from the wall? Ideally, we want them to be like 10 feet plus, but not a lot of home studios have that ability to have 10 feet in between your monitors in the back wall. So we actually want the opposite in a home studio setup. We want to get as close to the wall as we can. Usually the distance, like 6 centimeters to 60 centimeters is kind of the ideal range, closer to the 6 centimeters. I've got mine about 3 inches from the wall, so that's a little under 8 centimeters. And then also I've got some sound dampening panels behind my monitors. What you're going to get a lot with monitors in your back wall is a lot of that low end is going to be kicking back off the wall and coming back at you. And so we want to lessen the length of those frequencies. Once we get past the 60 centimeter mark, you're going to encounter a lot of phase issues in your low end, and it's going to make mixing that low end really, really difficult. So the closer the better, and if you're able to get some sort of dampening behind it, that's even better as well. Then the next thing we want to think about is our positioning as the listener, as the mixer, as the producer from the monitors themselves. So when we're sitting here working on a project, this distance right here is very important. We want our ears at the tweeter level, that's very important. And then we also want to make a perfect triangle between us and the monitors. They say about 67.5 inches or so is a great starting point. Now, a lot of home studios, you're not able to get that distance, just like mine. I think mine are closer to like the upper 30. I think I'm at like 37 inches between the two monitors and myself. But what we want is to make sure it's a perfect triangle. So if we have 35 inches between monitors, we want 35 inches from the monitors to us as well. And then we want it to be, again, that perfect triangle. With a lot of monitors, even if you move kind of here or back up here a little bit, that's going to change how you hear the mix. Now, I will say this again, one of the incredible things about these JBL 705p master reference monitors, they've created an imaging system. They have a patent on it where wherever you're sitting, as long as it's not an extreme distance, but if I'm here, if I'm here, if I'm here, if I'm here, if I'm up here, the mix is going to pretty much sound the exact same in all of those spaces, which can't be said about a lot of studio monitors. And so there's a lot of grace with these monitors, which I love about them, because sometimes I'll be playing guitar, so I'm a little further back. I might be playing keys, or it might be my chair could have been lowered and I didn't realize it. I could be talking to somebody and like back and forth listening to a reference. And so with these monitors, the placement of my personal body between the monitors, I've got a lot of wiggle room, which is incredible. But ideally, we want a perfect triangle in between ourselves, monitors, and monitors with each other. So those are really the big things to be thinking through as you set up your monitors for your home studio. I hope that helps you. Again, a very massive thank you to JBL. I can't recommend these monitors enough, the 705Ps. They are just incredible. Again, the first time I ever mixed on them, the best mix hands down I've ever created. I've worked on some really great monitor systems, and these just were light years above it in my personal mixing. Again, it's all preference, so whatever works best for you, that's what you want to go with. But I can't recommend these enough. Again, thank you to Performer Magazine. I'm just always so grateful for you guys. I have been Aaron Kellim. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you guys again soon.